Did she say anything to you when you left, or nothing at all?
No, I just said I was very quiet about it. My dad was with me. He'll vouch that I got my clothes, didn't say a word to her.
Sure.
This is Brent Williams. He is a husband, and his marriage has been falling apart for some time. A few days ago, his wife was found dead inside their apartment in Waynesville, Ohio, in what first appeared to be an accidental death.
What's going on?
I'm pretty sure she's been in there for 2 days, probably.
Okay.
At the center of the early response was Brent's own father, who was already inside the apartment before police arrived.
He told me about the water running, so he shut it on.
Okay. Before you guys made entry, he shut the water off? Okay.
So when I go in there, the door, the bathroom door's closed. I beat on it. I open it up, and I thought I seen her laying on the floor there through the glass door.
Okay.
As detectives begin to look more closely, small details start to raise questions about what really happened inside that home. What begins as a sudden death investigation slowly turns into something far more serious, built on phone records, past police visits, and a life insurance policy taken out just weeks before her death. And the closer investigators get to the truth, the more one question begins to form about the people closest to her. The investigation begins on July 8, 2017, when Waynesville police respond to a call from a landlord at a residential apartment complex. Water has been running continuously from one of the units for several days, and after concerns from neighbors, the landlord has tried to reach Brent Williams, the woman's estranged husband, to get permission to enter. Brent does not answer. The landlord then contacts Brent's father, Richard Williams, who agrees to come to the property and assist. Together, Richard and the landlord enter the apartment and discover Erin Mulcahy, Brent's wife, unresponsive in the shower. By the time officers arrive, it is clear she has been dead for several days.
What's going on?
I'm pretty sure she's been in there for 2 days, probably.
Okay. In this apartment here?
Yeah.
Erin
In the
Mulcahy?
shower, yeah.
Okay.
Brent and his dad was here the other day.
Okay, but they haven't
Thursday
been.
evening, and she was in the shower then.
Okay,
I
yeah.
heard the water running, and I looked underneath
see.
the floor, and water was running out.
Running out. And so she's in here?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, definitely. Rigor mortis has already set in. Okay, I'll have you guys step out here because I'm going to have to get some pictures and things like that, so.
The apartment itself shows no immediate signs of violence. Her clothes are neatly placed, a towel rests over the toilet, and nothing appears disturbed in a way that suggests a struggle. At first glance, it resembles a medical emergency rather than a crime scene, but one of the responding officers recognizes the address, and he is already aware that the relationship between Erin and Brent had not been stable. That prior knowledge is enough to prevent the scene from being dismissed too quickly.
History of alcohol, alcoholism, and things like that. So. But I've got to investigate this as something beyond that because there has been domestic history and things like that. So
from that point, what began as a welfare check starts shifting into a criminal investigation before the day is over. The 911 call that brought police to the apartment was made by the landlord, but one detail immediately stands out to investigators. Richard Williams, Brent's father, was already inside the apartment when the call was placed, having entered earlier under the explanation that he came to help shut off the water.
So when you entered the apartment, explain how you went ahead and made entry on that.
I know I grabbed the knob just, make sure it was locked. The doorknob was locked, so I would unlock it, and it still didn't open. Bathroom door was closed, so I know we beat on the door, yelled her name, no reply. So we went in, and that's when we seen her in the shower then. Which as soon as he seen her, he yelled something like, "Oh my God," or something like that. And there was no evidence of any breathing or anything, and I was like, I'm pretty sure she's dead.
When officers begin speaking with Richard, he is calm, cooperative, and specific about what led up to the discovery. He explains that he and Brent had been at the apartment 2 days earlier so Brent could retrieve personal belongings. While they were inside, they heard the shower running but assumed Erin was in the bathroom and chose not to check on her. After a brief visit, They left the apartment without any further contact. The account presents the visit as rushed and uncomfortable, shaped by a strained marriage and an effort to avoid confrontation. But it also confirms that both men were inside the apartment while something unusual was happening behind a closed bathroom door. Soon after, Erin's father arrives at the scene. His statement adds a different layer to the picture. He describes a daughter who had struggled for years with alcohol dependency, seizures, and mental health challenges, and he tells investigators that he had spoken with her just 2 days earlier.
This is the victim's father.
Okay. Hi. Nice to meet you.
I've known him for years from church
Okay.
and stuff like that.
Okay.
He was telling me that Erin had kind of struggled with alcohol,
Yes.
had some seizures,
Right.
and stuff like that. Is there?
She was bipolar too?
Bipolar.
Schizophrenic?
Yeah, that's why I haven't been here. I told them, wait, when you guys get your act together, then
Sure.
we'll start acting like a regular family.
Sure.
Fussing and fighting, I'm not getting involved.
Right.
Because there was one to get me in the middle of it.
Sure.
His account briefly supports the possibility that Erin may have suffered a medical episode alone inside the apartment. Given her history, an accidental death is still a realistic consideration at this stage. But in cases like this, the difference between an accident and a crime is rarely obvious in the beginning, and investigators are not yet ready to close either possibility. Approximately 15 minutes into the investigation, Brent Williams arrives at the apartment. Officers begin speaking with him to establish a clear timeline of his last contact with Erin and to understand the days leading up to her death. He describes moving out at her request, taking his belongings without conflict, and leaving the apartment quietly. He also states that his father was present and can confirm his account. He agrees to provide a DNA sample without hesitation.
When's the last time that you actually talked to Erin?
Sunday.
Sunday?
I moved out Sunday.
You moved out on Sunday? Okay.
Yeah.
Was it kind of a heated argument or
Nope.
just
Nope.
she
I-
just said get your stuff and
Nope,
go?
I
And
did.
oh,
I
you
did.
just
I
you
did.
just
My dad came with me.
okay.
Got my clothes.
Uh-huh.
Pulled out.
Okay.
We stayed that night.
Okay. All right. And did she say anything to you when you left or nothing at all?
No, I just said I was very quiet about it. My dad was with me. He'll vouch that I got my clothes, didn't say a word to her,
Sure.
and got out.
Okay. Did you guys have any conversation
Nope.
after you hadn't talked to her at all since
Text
Sunday?
her. Text her. Yeah, you
Okay.
want to read the text? You're more than welcome.
Yeah,
to.
we can. Yeah, that's
I
fine.
really don't bother me.
Okay.
During the same interaction, Brent's father intervenes in a way that shifts the tone of the conversation.
I really don't bother me.
Okay.
Remember, Brent, I said don't volunteer. Answer questions, okay?
Okay.
A father coaching his son to stay guarded when no charges have been suggested and no accusations have been made is not the behavior of a family with nothing to hide. With no forensic results yet, investigators look into Brent and Erin's past calls with police. Body camera footage from multiple visits to their home begins to show a clear pattern of repeated conflict, separation, and reconciliation.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
What's going on?
She left. She left. I didn't know what the situation was when she came back. I don't want to go to jail. She put me in jail once, and there she is, intoxicated as hell.
Okay. You think you're drunk?
I have drank.
Okay. Yeah, I can tell.
Those earlier visits were not rare incidents. They reflect a relationship police had been repeatedly called into over time, each time revealing more tension between them.
So what's the plan then?
What's get my stuff? I'm going out.
Okay. Are you doing that now or?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I can stand by while you do that.
Can you do me a favor? Though?
What's it?
I know you're a busy guy and everything, but can you drive by here once in a while? Because last time I was up, there was a guy here,
Okay.
and I'm worried about my
Who
stuff.
cares?
And I'm worried about my stuff.
Okay.
If you and I are not being together ever again, leave me the hell alone.
With that history in mind, investigators return to Brent's family home for follow-up questions. He is not there, but his parents are.
You guys are pissing me off. You both give me the idea. Because I stood there. Saturday night up there. No big deal. We're just crossing our teeth. And now you come back.
That's all we're doing though. That's.
I don't understand why you're upset.
I do. You're acting like you're going to try and put my son in jail. That's what I'm thinking. Tell me if I'm wrong.
You're not. You're wrong. I am not. I have no intention on putting your son in jail, but
I'm scared to death you are.
We have an obligation to figure out what took place as well. And there's a couple more questions that we have for him.
At the door, instead of answers, they are met with resistance.
Why are you wanting to talk to him again?
There's just a few more things that we'd like to talk to him about from, Saturday night when we talked and whatnot.
Okay, you got me on it. Okay. You got his mother on it.
Okay.
You better come across with something, buddy, because I'm thinking my son's going to jail, and you better straight help me out on this. And I'm damn serious.
Okay. He's not going to jail.
Okay. You sure of that?
No, he's not going to jail.
Okay, then I'm going to call him.
Richard Williams becomes increasingly defensive as the questioning continues. What begins as concern quickly turns into hostility, as though the direction of the investigation is already understood but not accepted.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Is this being recorded?
All conversations I have are recorded. Yeah.
So, okay.
Why weren't we told that?
Because
it's not an obligation to let you go. No, we're not keeping anything from you guys.
Okay. We're getting legal counsel. Here is William Klug.
Okay.
I'm calling him today.
Okay.
Okay.
We don't. We've got his number. We don't need his
Now,
number.
you didn't tell us this is it. I'm done.
You're scaring us.
Yeah, you're scaring us. When I saw his phone, I knew.
Actually, I was checking the time. I was actually checking the time.
It is not just protective. It suggests discomfort with where the case is heading and frustration that investigators are not backing away. The autopsy changes the entire direction of the case. Erin Mulcahy is ruled to have been strangled, with additional injuries consistent with a blow to the face. What once appeared to be a possible medical emergency is now confirmed as homicide, the first in Waynesville in decades. Investigators search Brent's phone, but find nothing directly linking him to the crime. They then turn to Erin's phone, which briefly points them toward another man she had recently met online and who was already under separate investigation. That lead is ultimately ruled out. With the case stalled again, a woman comes forward. Her name is Tiffany. She has been speaking with Brent after Erin's death through a dating app, and his behavior during those conversations has unsettled her enough to contact police.
How long did you guys meet?
He wanted to meet up with me last weekend, and I kept telling him how to work.
Okay.
Well, then he kept texting me and calling me, so I finally got back a hold of him, and then we were just texting. So we met yesterday over at Shawnee Reed Road, but he started talking about his wife dying. I'm like, okay, I thought maybe it happened, a while ago. But then the more and more talking, so how long ago did it happen? Oh, it's not been 2 weeks yet. But my first reactions are, you serious? I mean, if my husband died, and I'm a widow, I wouldn't be worried about being on these chat lines.
Tiffany describes a man who shows little grief and seems unusually calm about what happened. Then she reveals something more significant. Brent told her he was waiting on a payment in the mail.
But the way he said it was weird as hell.
What did he say?
We were just sitting there, and he was talking about, he's got to get this on in his life. I said, we don't have to rush this. Even though I wasn't trying to be, I was just talking. I said, we don't have to rush this. I said, because you need to grieve for your dead wife. I said, most civil people are. He goes, well, I was done, I already grieved. He goes, I didn't even care before she died. I've been okay with this. He's like, I'm ready to move on. And then he's all happy about getting a check in the mail for her death. The way he said it, he was like, weird. He said, well, I'm waiting for a check in the mail. I said, for what? And he said, life insurance. And I said, well, he's like, yeah, I took one out on her. He's like, I knew she was going to die. I said, well,
did he say how much?
$25,000?
It was a $25,000 life insurance policy taken out on Erin just weeks before her death. Once confirmed, along with DNA evidence placing Brent at the scene in a way that contradicts his account, the case against him begins to lock into place. Brent Williams is arrested at his parents' home in Waynesville, Ohio. His father, Richard, who had repeatedly tried to guide him through the investigation and shield him from scrutiny, watches as police take his son into custody for the murder of Erin Mulcahy.
Hey, Con, take it easy. He doesn't go outside and be arrested too, all right?
What the hell?
I don't care what he's got. You're better. I'll tell you something right now, sir. All right, go.
He did not do this.
Correct.
He did not.
Yeah.
My arm hurts. Stop this. Come on, put me on. First of all, you're arresting me when I didn't do nothing wrong.
During the arrest, Brent speaks at length but shows no remorse. Instead of reflection, he reacts with anger and directs his frustration toward the investigators, insisting he is being targeted.
It is so bad, Doug. Aren't you happy? Aren't you happy?
No,
yeah, you are. You wanted this so bad, and you got it, didn't you? You got what you wanted. You got what you wanted, Doug, and it's fine. You want to ruin my life, and you got it. That's fine, man. I don't care. You're happy, aren't you, man? This just makes your day to do this. You've been wanting to do this for over a year to me. Ruin my life, and you did it for nothing I didn't even do.
Brent later waives his right to a jury trial, leaving the case to a judge. The prosecution presents the forensic evidence, phone data, the life insurance policy, and Tiffany's testimony. Brent is found guilty of murder and sentenced to 15 years to life in prison. Erin Mulcahy was 30 years old. Those who knew her described a life marked by personal struggles, a difficult marriage, and ongoing attempts to rebuild stability. She had spoken to her father 2 days before her death and told him she planned to change her life. She never got the chance. Richard Williams, who once insisted on his son's innocence, lived to see him convicted. Whatever he believed at the start, the evidence ultimately told a different story. What began as a quiet death in a small Ohio town became a murder case shaped by a failing marriage, financial motive, and a chain of decisions made long before the night Erin died.